Today I'm going to go over how to control the position of your pelvis through recruitment of your pelvic floor and dead bugs. So to begin with recruitment of the pelvic floor and changing the position of the pelvis, I'm going to have you lay on your back. Feet are going to be flat, knees bent. And when we're in this position, if we're just relaxed, there should be the natural curve of the spine. So that should be there. Now, keep in mind that everyone does have a little bit of a variance in their anatomy, so some might have a bigger arch than others, but there should be some bit of a bridge, some bit of a gap back there. If you go ahead and recruit your pelvic floor, so remember that would feel like stopping the flow of urine, or stopping number 2, or engaging the anterior side, engaging the posterior side. If you do that, that bridge goes away. If you relax it, that bridge comes back. So again, if you engage the pelvic floor, you can turn the position of the pelvis, okay? So if it's relaxed, and this is me kind of over-exaggerating it, but if it's relaxed, there's this big gap. If it's engaged, you're pulling this part of your core up. Think of pulling it up towards the belly button or up even further towards those ribs. You change the position of your hips, right? So this way, tilted, and then engage the pelvic floor, and you've now kind of scooped, right? So from that scooped position, we're going to combine it with our nice active core, our deep core contraction. So we've already got the pelvic floor lifted and engaged. We're going to make sure that the sides have come in, right? We're thinking of knitting those lower ribs as well. And we're going to do a little test. So we're going to come up to our dead bug position, and we're going to place our hands on our stomach. When we go to lift these legs, we want to make sure that our stomach isn't rising up with that recruitment, right? That we want to make sure that we've been able to keep the core nice and compressed, nice and contracted. So you go ahead, you're going to lift one knee, one leg up to 90 degrees. And now again, you're going to try to keep this nice and flat as you go ahead and lift the other one. Let's totally relax, come back down. So we'll try that again. I'll show you an example where it's not recruited. So I come into my active core position, I lift my first leg, and now hopefully you saw a little bit of a rise there in my core. One more time, I'll do it the incorrect way. Core is recruited, I'm going to lift, and then lift again. Right? Now if my core is recruited and stays recruited, that TVA is wrapped. When I lift that second leg, there's absolutely no movement in my core. There's no rising. So if we get into dead bugs, you want to keep everything nicely compressed, okay? You don't want to be coming into this arched position as you're going through these. So when you're in this position, you should feel the back nice and flat up against the floor. The moment you feel any of that pressure decrease, you've gone too far, and that's okay. You got to learn those limits, but you've gone too far, so you've got to reduce your range of motion. And I promise you, it will get bigger. If you can master the smaller ranges of motion in the beginning, you'll be far better off in the end. So we'll actually start with our arms down by our side. You're going to inhale the heel towards the floor. Exhale, pull it back. Try the other side. Inhale the heel towards the floor. Exhale, pull it back. And again, an example of what we don't want to do is as you come down, losing your core and having the back pick up, only to get it back when you come back to that start position. Because when we're in this position, it's kind of easy to keep the back on the floor. And that's another thing to go over, is that if you're having a difficult time keeping the back on the floor, bring the knees towards the chest. So again, from that start position, inhale the heel towards the floor. Exhale, pull it back. Keep this all as tight as you can, as braced as you can.